One of the biggest of the divine blessings is finding a Guru and getting connected with that Guru through shraddha, faith. But we receive benefit from the Guru only by submitting our intellect before his higher understanding. The Vedas relate the story of Rishi Gautam and his exemplary disciple Satyakama. Gurudev called his students over and explained the problem. The cows of the ashram were in distress and they needed to be tended to by taking them to a faraway grassland. Only Satyakam was willing for this arduous and challenging Guru Seva. Gautam said, "My child, take good care of them as your service to your Guru. When you find that their number has grown from 400 to 1,000, bring them back." Satyakam did his seva dutifully, and he tended to the cows with so much of love as a devotional offering at the feet of his Guru. The number of the cows kept on increasing until it reached 1,000. But he was so immersed in his seva, he didn't even realize the number had been reached. The king of the celestials, Indra, came over and said, "Satyakam, do you know that your Guru's instruction has been fulfilled by you?" On his inspiration, they started returning to the Guru ashram. It was a 4-day journey involving 4 night halts. And at each halt, Indra instructed knowledge of one of the Vedas to Satyakam. When the disciple reached his Guru, he said, "Maharaj, I have fulfilled your instruction." Sage Gautam, his face beaming, said, "My child, I can see the glow on your face. You have become a knower of Vedic knowledge." This is a prime example of the benefit of surrendering your intellect before the Guru. Let's read about it from my latest book, Spiritual Secrets from Hinduism. Once we find a God-realized Guru, we must then diligently adhere to his instructions. This is just as when we are sick, we go to a doctor. We explain our symptoms to the doctor. Beyond that, we do not use our intellect. We trust his expertise. The doctor diagnoses our problem and tells us the remedy. Take this medicine, 2 tablespoons, 3 times a day for 1 month, and you will be cured. We follow the doctor's instructions and get well. Now suppose we used our intellect. The doctor has told me to take a little medicine every day for 1 month. Let me take it all today, so that I will get cured in 1 day itself. If we were to do this, the doctor would not be able to treat us. Similarly, the Guru can only cure us from the disease of ignorance if we follow his instructions. The Shvetashvatar Upanishad states, "Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasya ite kathita hyartha prakashyante mahatmanah." For those who have implicit and complete faith in God and their Guru, the purport of all the Vedic scriptures gets revealed in the heart by divine grace. The inspiring story of Shankaracharya's disciple is very relishable. Amongst his legendary students, Hastamala, Totak Acharya, Mandan Mishra, who was Surishwaracharya. There has also been one illiterate disciple called Sanat. He could not understand any of the scriptural teachings, but had implicit faith in Guru Shankaracharya. And he would dutifully engage in seva. When Gurudev taught Brahma Vidya, he would sit and just keep staring at his Guru's face without understanding a syllable. One day, it was time for the class. The other disciple said to Shankaracharya, "Please begin, Gurudev." He said, "Sanand is not here as yet. Let's wait." They said, "Gurudev, he doesn't even understand. What difference will it make?" Shankaracharya said, "He listens with great faith." Then he called out, "Sanand!" His disciple was on the other side of the river, washing Gurudev's clothes. When Sanand heard Shankaracharya calling his name, immediately with all his devotion, he felt the need to come over to him. Without thinking, he started walking on the water. And the story goes, wherever he placed his feet, lotus flowers bloomed from below, making it possible for him to walk across. He reached a prostrate obeisance, and the stuti, praises for Gurudev that emanated from his mouth were in sophisticated Parishkrit Sanskrit, amazing all the other disciples. Since then, he became known as Padmapada, the one under whose path the Padma lotuses had blossomed, and he became one of the 4 major disciples of Adi Shankaracharya. The takeaway for all of us is the need to surrender the intellect. And why so? Our intellect is affected since eternity by a disease. What is that? Avidya, or ignorance. Anadya vidya yuktasya purushasya atmanedanam swatona sambhavadanyas tattvagyo jnanado bhavet. Vedvyas says that the avidya is anadi, since eternity. You cannot remove it by the power of your own intellect, because the intellect is the one affected by the ignorance. Just like if you wish to lift yourself up from the ground by holding your bootstraps, it will not be possible. The interesting story is told of one cowherd boy, a Gopal, who would every day milk his cow, which was the Gujarati Gir cow, having long horns, and this particular cow's horns were inclined towards each other. The cowherd boy would eye the gap between the 2 horns and the top of the cow's head and wonder, can my head fit into the gap? 1 year went by. Finally, the curiosity got the better of him. He said, "Let me try it out." He held the cow's horns and managed to push his head in. But it startled the bovine, who lifted her head, thereby raising his feet above the ground. And he now felt threatened that this was a situation of death by hanging. To reduce the pressure on his neck, he grabbed the cow's neck, which startled the creature further, and it started lifting its back feet, moving in alarm. The villagers came running, grabbed the cow, extracted the poor fellow, and said, "My dear man, aviveka paramapadam. Before doing anything, you must think, otherwise it can invite the biggest calamity. Did you not think before putting your head there? Said, who says I did not think? I thought for 1 year and then did it. But the thinking itself had its faults because it was an activity of the defective intellect. Likewise, the Vedas say that no matter how intelligent you may feel you are, your intellect suffers from 5 defects. Maharishi Patanjali calls them Panchaklesh. What are these? Avidya, Asmita, Rag, Dvesh, Abhinivesh. Avidya is the ignorance by virtue of which we have forgotten that we are the soul and we are thinking and the body, mind, intellect. Asmita is the pride. Whether we realize it or not, the defect of the false ego exists in the material conditioned state in all of us. And then Rag, attachment to the worldly things. Dvesh, hatred, resentment for something that has hurt our self-interest. And Abhinivesh, the fear of death. Even though we know that we are eternal. An old man has been badly injured and is terribly sick in the hospital, cannot visit the restroom, has a bedpan on the bed, cannot eat, has a tube going in the mouth, the leg is suspended from the ceiling. Such a man also says, Doctor, I hope I will not die. Please save me. Hare Baba, do take care of your body. But why so much of anxiety? The whole machinery is spoiled. If you were to go, God would send you back with a new machine. But the clinging to the body results in the fear of death, another defect of the intellect. The Vedas say, the idea of making a guru is going beyond your intellect. Just like in case you need to fight a case in court, you get an advocate. Because you are unfamiliar with law, the advocate understands the matter and instructs you. Accordingly, if you need to go for a testimonial in the witness box, you stand up and do as the advocate does. The other side's advocate tries his best to get some statement out of you to exploit, but you stick to the instructions and get the edge in the case. Likewise in the spiritual realm as well, there are so many things our intellect cannot comprehend at present. One maverick disciple used to be often disobedient. His guru had grown old. The disciple said, Gurudev, you will attain Mahasamadhi any day. What will happen to me? Gurudev said, my child, do your sadhana daily. My grace will be upon you. Gurudev, the Singhasan will come from Golok for you. Can I latch onto it and accompany you? What loss will there be of yours? Now the Singhasan came. The Guru sat on it to go to the abode of God and enter the Nitya Leela. The disciple also held on. They were crossing the lokas, Satya. But in between, the disciples' intellect started getting the better. He said, Gurudev, this place we are going to go look. Are there cows there? Yes, Veda. Gurudev, are the cows black or white in color? Beta, they are both. Gurudev, how big are these cows? Arey beta, when you reach there, you'll find out. Gurudev, maybe they are this big. Now he released the Singhasana and back he returned to the earth plane. So the scriptures are telling us, my arpita mano buddhi, my buddhim niveshaya. Surrender your intellect to the Guru. Learn the sadhana, follow the instructions, and progress on the spiritual.